Yeah, people, I think, like, get it really confused. And, you brought up 2008. I was in the same boat as you, man. I guess in college, I was a college kid, and I thought I knew everything. Then, it's crazy when you
Yeah.
fast forward a couple years. You thought you knew everything, and then you just, I know, I did not know, and I literally knew nothing. And here we are now. I think that we are on a verge of a real estate collapse, and I know a lot of people are saying that the whole everything goes to zero to Bitcoin, but I'm not going to say everything's going to go to zero like tomorrow, but I do think that the money has to go somewhere. So if it flows out of real estate, out of gold, bonds, whatever it is, it's got to go to Bitcoin. And I think this is the year, man. I think this is the start of a bull run. You think we're in it right now, or?
Absolutely. I think we are. I think the ETFs was a signal that the last group of people that want to be involved in Bitcoin are here. Sort of the long-term investors, the quote-unquote boomers, the investment firms, like, they realize now how important it is. But yes, I think 2024 is the start of a massive bull run. I think Michael Saylor said until 2034, and I just think it's actually beyond that. It's just never going to end, because what people don't realize is when we say everything versus Bitcoin goes to zero, what we mean by that is, no, your house is not going to be $0. Your assets are not going to be $0. What's going to happen is people are going to say, is this asset worth more than Bitcoin when you put it side by side? And it's going to be, hey, my house is worth $1 million. Okay, that's cool, but my house is worth 50 Bitcoin. And then people are going to say, okay, well, I would rather use the Bitcoin scale, because we understand if that's more valuable, if that commodity or if that business is more valuable than buying Bitcoin, then that must be a very valuable product. And that's why a lot of people say Bitcoin fixes everything. And the ethos of that is that fix the money, fix the world. Because if you do it against a Bitcoin standard and it's not up to par, then people aren't going to buy it, which basically incentivizes people to create better products, which incentivizes people to create better art, better music, better food. Everything has to be better, because if I say, hey, I want to transact in sats, the only way you get in my Bitcoin is if you have an incredible product, or if I have to use it. And a good example is let's say tomorrow Apple came out, which pretty much everybody has an iPhone, or Android came out and said, hey, you can only buy our phones with Bitcoin. Guess what would happen tomorrow? Everybody would use Bitcoin. They would say, okay, well, we have to ascribe to that because it's a superior product. The thing is, products that aren't at that level, they would fall to the wayside and nobody would use them, which would in essence open up the market to more creativity, more innovation. And then you would have in my opinion, a fast forward of people basically saying, let's skip all of the garbage because we don't actually have to need it. We don't actually have to use it, because fiat does that to you. You pay for things with fiat because you have to you have to pay bills, you have to get this. And a dollar tomorrow is worth less than today. So it's actually incentivized for you to spend it. What Bitcoin does is the opposite is, hey, if you want me to spend this, we're talking about my future kids and grandkids may not have this money. So this has to be something that's amazing and has to be great. So even the housing, like people say, you will probably have a return to people building more brick houses, or houses that are more sturdy, or houses that have more things that go with it, or any other market that you want to address. And that's why I think, Bitcoin and the crypto market is important, because, long term, like I said, if I'm going to spend this money, you're going to have a superior product. And that's what we mean when we say everything goes to zero versus Bitcoin, because superior assets went out. And that's been the case for thousands of years now. Even Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, he said that in an article. He said the superior money always wins out. It's only one superior money wins out, always, and throughout human history.